Question of the day. Talk to me, chat. Talk to me. Question of the day. How does one know when to give up? How does one know when to give up? Right? So recently, you guys know I gave up on making content with pure intentions of trying to be helpful and beneficial to the culture, and covering things that are all black, black men, black women, and trying to get to the root of why the black family is going extinct and why the black nuclear family in particular is going extinct, trying to make content that was beneficial and helpful and real, on those things. I recently retired and gave up from discussing black women specifically in my content. And so I'll be talking, if I have to talk about relationships or women, it'll just be American women all together. Amen. And so I gave up, and I know that, my conglomerate of content creators, my homies, Souls of Thought, Soft Rain, Tez, they all, well, not Tez. Tez gave up the same time I did. We went on ahead and retired, put our jerseys up at the same time on that live stream. Make sure y'all go back to my live stream from a few days ago on never speaking on black women specifically again. But yeah, I gave up. I felt great after the live stream was over. I felt lighter, I felt lighter, honestly. I felt like I let go of some shit that I probably could have let go of sooner. You know what I mean? And yeah, how does one know when to give up? And if you give up on something at an appropriate time, are you really quitting? Let's talk about it. Are you really quitting if you give up on something in its due time? Let me go back to these comments. Oh, these had to do with the river stuff. I'm so late, y'all. Yeah. So in regards to that, Ted said that's how she always talks. Hold on. Let me do it like this, so I can edit it clean. Ted said that's how she always talks. She the nose vented for temperature purposes. Miles Bachelor said basically she's saying don't F with brothers. What else is new? Miles Bachelor said take two to go raw dog. Tristan said this American woman has adopted pale skin feminism along with the nose ring mentality. I think that all American women who look like her should stray away from such demonic spirits, respectfully. I agree. Souls of Thought said you should only give up if your mission can't be accomplished. I think we discussed that on the stream, Souls. I think we discussed that on the streams. Tristan said, I agree. You can save hyenas and turn them into lionesses for content purposes only. Boy, a fool. Classic. Yeah, I hear y'all talking. But how does one know when to give up, y'all? Soul says you can give up if your mission cannot be accomplished. Souls, the mission that I gave up, do you think it can be accomplished? Because I think I gave up because I learned that it was mission impossible. It was mission impossible. And I'm not Brad Pitt. Classic. I am not Brad Pitt. So I got out. Man. I realized that, there's only one way to win in that world. And that's going the pandering route. And I'm no panderer. I like to be real. I like to be rooted in reality. I'm not gonna pander. So there's only one way to win over there, and I'm not doing that. Classic. So the thought said you felt it could. LOL. You know what? I think that let's talk about that. So, part of now that I've dropped that part, I've aborted that mission. All for content creation purposes, entertainment only, allegedly. Now that everything's alleged, now that I've aborted that mission of trying to be a small fraction of the reason why the number of nuclear Black households goes up. You know, part of the mission was trying to be a small part of that in the content creation space to influence change in a positive way in that regard. And I think it took for me to go from anecdotally trying to help on a individual case basis or in small group settings to coming out into the content creation space and speaking to the world and being able to get, you know, more opinions and absorb more content and more different, you know, thought processes and really take a deep dive on like immerse myself in it essentially. I think that's when I came to the realistic conclusion that no, it is mission impossible. It's laughable now for sure that I thought that I could help. It is laughable. I actually, Norris, I agree with you. It's laughable that I thought that I could help, but I was naive. I was naive. I'm only gonna do this once. You know, so once you know better, I'm big on that. Once you know better, you do better. Oh, okay. Wait a second. This kind of feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. Feels like a brick wall. Starting to look like a brick wall. Shit, I think it's a brick wall. Classic. I think it's a brick wall. Yeah. So, yeah, ain't no, you know, you can't help nobody don't want no help. Miles Bachelor said, I may adjust my goals, give up a larger goal, focus on short-term goals. I don't know if that's giving up though, Miles. An effort could inspire someone more capable or with more resources. I don't think resources has to do with the ability to assist. There's people with much significantly larger platforms that was having the same conversations I just retired from having, and they not getting through. They just monetizing on the men who like to watch the realness of the conversation. They not getting through. They not making no marginal differences. The only person that was getting through, they got him up out of here allegedly. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. He was actually making a dent in this shit. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. Classic. Souls of Thought said, I worked in it for years. Oh, okay. So you know it's mission impossible. Shit, thanks for letting me know. Or watching me figure it out. And then look, see how toxic this shit is? Hold on, Tristan. You see how toxic it is? Souls of Thought, the main one telling me, bring the old classic back. Don't give up. Keep giving us this great entertaining content while you bang your head against a freaking wall. No, classic. Sir. No, sir. I know it's for y'all entertainment, but I can't. I have a concussion. I have a concussion. I'm only going to do this once. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. Tristan said, you should give up when you have to put aside your beliefs to meet people where they are. I love that. It defeats the purpose of people identifying the problem within themselves. I love that. You should give up when you have to put aside your beliefs to meet people where they are. Yeah. It defeats the purpose of people identifying the problem within themselves. That boy cooking. Classic. You hear me? Cooking with organic grapeseed oil. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cooking with organic grapeseed oil. The Tez Down said, yep, can't even do it. Yeah, it's a dead mission. Souls of Thought said, mental health taught me a lot about us. Yeah, so you know what it is. Hey, like I told you, I understand why you went to the side you went to, my brother, and I know it's cool. I'm only going to do this once. I know, man. I know. Tristan said people have to take personal accountability before they take heed to your message. We still waiting on the accountability part. We'll wait forever. Classic. And I'm just talking about American women. I don't want anybody to take that wrong. Of course, right, Tristan? We talking about American women, just Western women in general. The accountability part is what we're waiting on. We wouldn't single out any ethnicity, regardless of whether or not they're disproportionately impacted. Yeah. We're not going to do that. Souls the Thought said, because it's for content. LOL. Yeah, it is. But, you know, we got a lot of different types of content we can make. We're going to lead them people along. I have the Let Them Crash Out playlist, and we just going to let them crash. Miles Bachelor said, I'm low on grapeseed. Time to re-up. No, you ain't. You cooking too, Miles. You cooking too. But yeah, man. So this is a good conversation. How does one know when to give up? I think when you realize that it's a dead mission, and sometimes giving up ain't giving up, right? In regards to what I was referring to specifically, me giving up on having conversations specifically in regards to Black women, yeah, I'm giving up on that. Like I'm not making a pivot to try to approach it a new way. That shit over with. But sometimes when it comes to like career goals or whatever the case may be, you may be pursuing something and then you make a pivot, and instead of giving up, you still gonna end up at the same apex, but you deciding to go a different route with your shit. So that's not necessarily giving up. It's just like, I'm gonna give y'all an example. If you're trying to be a pro football player, and then you get to the division, you get all the way up to the Division I level in college, you play football, and then you get down to your junior year, and you realizing, like, you looking at the draft prospects, you looking at the board, you ain't on nobody's board, you looking at your stats, you trying to see, and you start having a realistic understanding, like, man, I want to be involved with the game for my whole life, and I may or may not go pro. So you instantly start becoming more of a coach while you're a player. And then you make that pivot and transition straight into coaching. That's how you end up being able to be one of the youngest NFL head coaches, because you realize, I'm not a pro player, I'm a coach. And you start coaching at a young age. That give you an advantage from the people who transition into coaching in their 30s. Nah, you wanted to be a coach when you was 18. You've been off of the, I'm going to be a pro player myself. You know what I'm saying? And that give you an advantage. So I wouldn't call that giving up. I would call that pivoting, right? You still got to the apex, but you just doing it in a different way. You're not the cornerback on the field. You the cornerback position coach for the LA Raiders or what? I mean, the LA Rams or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just for example's sake. Tristan said, generally speaking, of course, my boy. Souls of Thought said, what made you think you could assist? What made me think I could assist? Because I grew up around a whole bunch of examples of what I was trying to push the culture back to being. That's what made me think I could assist. My personal anecdotal reality, because I could still go back to my parents' crib, to God be the glory. I could still go visit my parents and watch them be a married couple, just sit in the house and watch them be a married couple. I could still just do that. So, my anecdotal experience made me feel like, there's some hope. But in the words of my dog, Fendi Frost, no hope, no hope. Shit over with.
Classic.
Souls of Thought said, I think that's how you determine if or when you should quit. I agree. Miles said, right. Pivoting is the word. Instead of quit, refocus the energy. Yeah. Sometimes quitting isn't quitting, but there is a such thing as quitting, and we got to know when. But I think this is a good conversation, though. I mean, I gave y'all a specific example, but I'm glad y'all still answered generally as well, as far as like, how does one know when to give up? I think sometimes the writing be on the wall. So you just got to, you know what I mean? You got to make that move. But yeah, that's the question of the day, y'all. I appreciate y'all, chat. If you like what you just saw, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and jump in the comments. Talk to me so we could crack these codes. If you want to support the channel monetarily, go to my website and cop some merch, www.theclassiccodes.com. Or you can shoot me a Cash App. Either way, stick to the codes.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Hardened my heart, now hardened the